Sunday morning, bright and early, going to Jerusalem for a couple of meetings that I'm not sure I'll be able to get on camera, but I'll share more later. Let's go. Okay, it is Sunday morning at 10 o'clock. I gotta tell you, I've been in Israel for 30 years, and I'm still not used to Sunday mornings. I don't think I'll ever get used to Sunday mornings. But, if there was one person I want to start my week with, it is this good-looking guy on my left. Yes. All right, this is Amir Whiteman. Amir and I know each other for
1997. That's 26 years.
26, which is crazy because I'm still 18, so that's a problem. But anyway,
me too.
We went to school together, yeshiva, Jewish school, many years ago together, and since then we've kind of been in touch. And then a few years ago, he started a fund called Champel Capital, which we'll hear a little bit about in a second. And I am fortunate to be on the advisory board. Very unique fund for many reasons. But before we talk about Champel Capital, you got to talk about the elephant in the room, okay? Because Amir is maybe the only person who's more Zionist than I am.
No.
Well,
don't exaggerate.
We're up there, and he deeply loves his country. He's deeply bothered and saddened, like I am, by what's going on here. And so I want to hear a little optimism, because I heard enough of like the doomsday, like, oh, it's going to be the end of the country. Forget that stuff. Tell me why you're optimistic about the future of Israeli tech and Israel in general.
I'll tell you why. Listen, Jews, you know,
You've been through a lot.
Unfortunately, you also know that personally.
Yeah.
But Jews have gone through a tremendous amount of problems over the years. We have a very difficult history.
By the way, hold on. Just FYI, I apologize for the background noise. We're in Cinema City, which is one of like the malls in Jerusalem. A lot of people here, but we figured, whatever, this is Jerusalem, this is Israel. So we brought you this video from Cinema City. So again, apologies for the background noise, but keep going, sorry.
Right. So Jews have gone through a very difficult history, generation after generation, and we have always overcome, right? We're here.
Yep.
It's incredible.
Yep.
By the way, do you know that Hebrew is the only language in the whole world ever to have been reborn? It has never happened.
You want to hear something else that's crazy? Jews have been exiled from countries throughout history every 14 years on average.
Really? 14.
Every 14 years on average, and basically every single country in the world, with very few exceptions, has exiled the Jews at some point, which is crazy. It's just, I mean, whatever, we're not gonna get into it, but like, we're like 0.0000001 of the population. Like, why does the world obsess over us? But that's a topic for another time. Anyway, go on.
Right, so, but the bottom line is that we've gone through a lot.
Right.
And we've gone through much harder times than now.
Yep.
So, is it unpleasant? Yes, it's unpleasant. I've been calling, just like you, for coming together, finding compromises, and putting this whole stuff behind us. Yes. So is it positive? No. But on the long term, I think it is positive, actually. It's not short-term positive, it's long-term positive. Why?
Okay.
I tell you why. Because there are real issues behind all the hysteria. There are real issues which need to be addressed. And the reality is that all of these issues are now coming up to the surface. And because people now, if you want, they don't have the choice but to actually think about these issues, especially ultra-Orthodox, and how do you deal with them within, and how you integrate them into the economy, how do you deal with, religious coercion.
So like, it's all coming to the surface, right?
Right. So it's unpleasant.
Yeah.
But we have to face these issues sooner rather than later, and therefore it's positive.
Got it.
We will face them, we will overcome them, and it will be good.
Okay, so I'm going to push back on one thing, and then I'm going to say, yes, there's no denying the challenges. Anybody who says that everything's fine is just whatever. But really, if you look at the data and you take into account the global economy, and then you look at the local economy and the hit that we've taken on tech, I'm going to say, yes, the reform and the protests are affecting tech, but I actually think the effect and the impact is a lot less than most people think. And, not to be anecdotal, because this isn't data, this isn't science, but there's a lot of new money coming into Israel right now. Tel Aviv Partners, which was a fund that is very vocal about how it's the end of everything, just raised $100+ million. Another friend of mine, not yet public information, is about to announce a $110 million fund. And so it's not like there's no money coming into Israel. I will say that I personally know several billionaires who are worried. So I'm not belittling that. But in the grand scheme of things, I think not only will we be okay, but I think we're okay now. with, again, it's a hiccup, it's not pleasant, but I think we're doing okay and we'll continue to do okay.
Yes.
Now, with that context, what is Champel Capital? What has gone on in the last couple of years and what is going on now and what is going to happen in the future?
Right, so I've been investing in tech since 2017 with my partner, Arieh Ben Gigi. We created our fund. Originally, we invested essentially his own capital, friends and family, etc. And then we grew, so it started we transformed this into a real fund in 2022,
right,
a year ago, or just over a year ago, and raised around $30 million, so we're still a small fund.
30.
30. But so we have made already 6 investments. Hopefully the 7th is about to come this week, next week, it's imminent.
But some of your investments, let's just be very clear, because just in case somebody who's watching doesn't understand the mechanism of venture, right? By definition, venture knows that like you're going to invest. Most of those, deals are going to go into the wind. You're never going to make a return on those investments, and then you'll have, 2, 3, 4, whatever, 5% that's going to potentially, hopefully, return the whole fund. That's really the mechanism. No VC is going to have 75% success rate, 50% success.
But we don't have any write-off so far since 2017. 0.
That's where I was going with this. Champel Capital has had 0 failure. And when I say failure, it doesn't mean that every company is the next WhatsApp. That's not what I'm saying. But 0 write-offs means none of the companies that you've invested in have closed the doors, which is insane. It's incredible, and that's wildly impressive. Now, to talk about some of the success stories, give me some of your investments that you've made.
We invested in Lemonade in 2018.
Lemonade is, in my opinion, the company that is the equivalent of, let's call it Uber, Airbnb, or Facebook, but in insurance. Why do I say that? Because what did Uber do? They took transportation, they disrupted it using technology. Airbnb did it to hospitality. Facebook did it to communication. Lemonade did it to insurance. They made insurance sexy. Amazing company. Yeah, what else?
We invested in 2019 in Innoviz.
Innoviz, I don't know if you guys are watching this, but everyone's talking about autonomous cars, and it's all fun and games until you can have a fully, level 3 it's called, autonomous car, fully autonomous. Now, Innoviz is leading the way. They just signed a very strategic partnership with BMW. Soon, all the BMWs on the road are going to be fully autonomous using Innoviz's LiDAR technology. So there's, not to get too technical, but there's cameras, radar, and LiDAR. Those are the 3 ways a car can be autonomous. Cameras and radar are highly limited, and they can't be fully autonomous. LiDAR facilitates fully autonomous cars. So Innoviz is the hottest company in transportation, and Champel invested. What else?
Oh, we invested in a company in 2017 called Y-Charge, which you know.
Y-Charge, we talk about wireless charging. What's wireless charging? You put it on something and it charges. That's not wireless, right? Real wireless charging is I walk into a room and this charges from the air. Oh, you're saying, what about radiation? No radiation. Like fully approved, works. The company, it's a moonshot, as we say. So, we have to see what's going to happen with the company from a commercial perspective. But the technology is game changing. What else?
Right, we invested in Oleh Farms.
Oleh Farms, crazy company.
Especially for you as a very big carnivore.
Yeah, so, by the way, that wasn't the only artificial is not the right word, but you also invested in Remilk.
Yes.
So Oleh Farms enables basically lab-grown meat, and Remilk enables basically artificial
dairy
products. So,
which is real, genetically speaking, it's real dairy products. It's real milk.
Unbelievable.
It's not pretend milk.
Right. Okay, so we're going to stop with the past investments. You could see, the guy has an eye. There's no question about it. By the way, it's important. Full disclosure, I am an advisor at the fund, just in case you thought I wasn't being objective here. I joined the fund as an advisor, not because, it's not the other way around. I don't think they're amazing because I joined. I joined because they're amazing. Anyway, having said that, where's the status right now? What is happening at Champel Capital right now?
So, as I said, we have invested in 6 companies. The list is online in our internet site. We're about to invest in other 2 companies, one hopefully this week or next week, the following one probably in September. So the portfolio is being built and it's doing well. We have a few companies in food tech, agri-tech, mobility, etc. And we're still carrying on raising capital, and it's not easy now because, as you can see, that what you mentioned, the whole world is in a slowdown, so raising assets is not easy.
Right.
But I think the important point is that because the world is in a slowdown, then valuations have come down dramatically everywhere in the
big
world.
Opportunity.
Yes, that's the opportunity.
Right. It's all. Every advantage could be your disadvantage. Every disadvantage could be your advantage.
Exactly.
Depends how you look at things. Okay, so what's your, as we say, al regel achat, on one leg, what is your investment philosophy? What are you looking to invest in? Or better yet, what are you not looking to invest in?
Okay, so I'll tell you like that. What we look to invest is what I would say deep tech companies. What's a deep tech company? It's a company which creates its comparative advantage by having very, very well thought engineering product or researched product. In the sense there's big science, or there's a lot of
Not just like some social network. It has to be
Right.
deep tech, real tech,
right,
proprietary
exactly.
tech.
Right. I give you an example of a company where we would not have invested. WeWork. WeWork is an amazing company if you think about it. They have changed the world of
We can get into that debate, but not now.
No. But they have changed the world
Right.
conceptually speaking,
Right.
how you look at people, how they work.
Right.
But there is very little tech there,
Right.
right?
Right.
Because at the end of the day, it's a very traditional.
It's like a service,
Yeah,
basically.
it's a service. It's
Right.
a very traditional real estate play.
Although, if you'd ask Adam Newman, Adam Newman's not the right person, but if you'd ask, let's say, Ron Gura, who led engineering in Israel, he would say it's a deep tech company. But I agree with you, it's not a deep tech company. But let's leave WeWork aside because the issue.
No, that's
issues there was
that's an example
whole
of what
other
we would
issue.
not. No, fine.
Right,
That's an example of what something we would not have invested.
Okay, so deep tech. What else? Revenue.
Yeah, we like Series A, so early revenues, ideally many hundreds of thousands, maybe to up to $1 million revenues.
I wonder if people can hear us. Well, that noise in the background there. Okay. Anyway, so Series A.
Let's say $1
post-revenue.
million. Yeah, post revenues.
Okay, so not some idea, you have to have revenue. Meaning, not only just not some idea, even if you have a product, if you have no revenue, Champel's not right for you. So post-revenue, deep tech, what else?
Yeah, that's pretty a good team, but that's obvious. Israeli
Hardware?
companies. Yes, we are not afraid of hardware. We're looking at hardware, and we know that, by the way, as you said, disadvantage, advantage. I know many people don't want to do hardware because hardware means friction.
Hard distribution.
Hard distribution.
Yeah.
But we are willing to do that because we understand where it's going to work. It's going to be working big time.
Right. Okay, so you've built an amazing portfolio. You're continuing to deploy capital. You're now raising, correct?
Yes,
So now
also.
what's next?
That's it, really.
In terms of the fund, you're now raising.
Yes, we're raising more. We're raising more.
Tell me a little more about that.
Well,
Whatever you're allowed to say, of course.
no, whatever. We are still open for investment for LPs. Essentially, what that means is that people who think and understand that there is an opportunity because of the global situation have the opportunity to join us now and then deploy capital together with us co-investors as well.
Got it. So if an LP, potential LP, or anybody's watching this and they want to be in touch to potentially become a partner of Champel Capital, give you their money basically to invest because clearly you have a track record, what's the best way to reach out?
Talk to you.
Hit me up or Amir
Or me.
at Champel Capital.
Yeah, Champel Capital on LinkedIn. It's fine.
Amir is
Everywhere.
Everywhere, very, very responsive. Amir Whiteman, look him up on LinkedIn or hit him up by email. And the time is of the essence. It's moving.
Yes, it's moving. We're not going to keep the fund open forever. Of course, we extended a little bit the fundraising period because of market conditions, but it's not going to stay open for the next 10 years. I mean,
Right.
So there needs to be at the end of the day some sort of a closing date, which we postponed for a few months, but just a few months.
You snooze, you lose. That's the bottom line. Anyway, it's funny. So we came to meet. We haven't hung out in a long time, and told him my next meeting is in the Knesset. I'm going to meet a Chaver Knesset, an MK named Dan Illouz, and he's like, Dan Illouz is my man. So he brought him to the Knesset. Now that's how I'm coincidentally. My second thing is that I said my brother works for another MK, and he just like texted that MK. And anyway, small little world in this country. I love it. All right, Amir, let's rock and roll. Looking
Great
forward
to see you.
as always, and looking forward to hearing some good news about the closing of Champel Capital too. And I'm honored to have been chosen to be on your advisory board. Hopefully, to many more years of doing some cool tech together.
Please go.
All right, man. Thanks. Okay, so my second meeting today is in the Israeli Parliament. That would be my brother, Eitan, who works in the Parliament. We're heading in right now to meet an MK to talk about Israel advocacy, AI, tech, all kinds of other fun stuff. I would imagine I'm not allowed to record the entrance to the Parliament, but I'll record whatever I can. It is bloody hot in Jerusalem. Here we go. All right, here we go. Walking into the Knesset with Michal.
Boker Tov.
First appearance on the vlog, Michal.
Woohoo!
This is like a big deal, you know?
Hello.
And I always say this, but I'm going to say it again, which is, if my grandmother in Auschwitz, I know I'm getting really heavy on a Sunday morning, if my grandmother in Auschwitz knew that one of her grandsons was a national hero of the state of Israel, her other grandson works in the parliament, and her other grandson is going to meet an MK in the parliament to talk about tech, she would not even know how to digest that information. So I just thought I should point that out. It blows my mind. All right, here we go. Okay, this is maybe the second or third time in my life that I'm in the Israeli parliament, and very, very emotional for me. It just is. Anyway, I'm sitting here with, it's a new world where you could say the following sentence. I'm sitting here with an old friend I've never met, or maybe we met once, but we've known each other for probably a decade.
I think so, yeah.
So this is MK Dan Illouz, right? Did I pronounce it right?
Yes.
Dan Illouz. Okay, so we've been connected on Facebook forever, basically. He's from Montreal originally. I'll let him tell his story. But the bottom line is, we're here to talk about his work as it pertains to tech and entrepreneurship and making Israel a more friendlier place for entrepreneurship and for tech. So just give me your 2-minute background. Where are you from? What's your deal?
I'm from Montreal, Canada. I was born and raised there at age 23. I left Canada out of a great love for Israel, Zionism, and I decided to leave. I finished McGill Law School, had a lot of opportunities all around North America, but I decided to leave everything to come join the IDF and move to Israel, and that's what I did. And after doing that, I decided that since I already sacrificed a lot, and I'll keep on sacrificing and live a life of public service. I worked in the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, was a member of the Jerusalem City Council, and in the last election, I was elected to be a member of Knesset as part of the Likud party.
You know, it's amazing. I asked you this before, but it's amazing. You know, you picked up, you came here, you sacrificed, you know, a health, I'm sure, a very comfortable and, you know, perfect life over there. And you said, I'm going to dedicate my life to Israel. And then you climbed all the way up, and now you're in the Israeli parliament. That is like, you know, it's like the equivalent of the American dream. You know, it's the Israeli dream. But it's really amazing. You know?
It's definitely true. I just want to say also what makes it even crazier is that when you make that sacrifice, you don't know that at the end of the road, I'm going to be a member of Knesset.
Right.
I didn't know that at that time. So now looking back, obviously it was the right decision.
Right.
But at the time, it was a much scarier
someone
thing.
recently said to me, I didn't make Aliyah because I'm a Zionist. I made Aliyah because I'm a capitalist.
That's nice.
Because I don't know how old you are, but when we were growing up, I imagine we were around the same age. When we were growing up, to move to Israel, you had to be like a hardcore Zionist. You had to like be willing to sacrifice and come to Israel, which was, I don't want to say a third world country, but you couldn't get deodorant here. You couldn't get tuna fish. Like, it was pretty much a third world country. Today, I mean, I don't feel like we lowered our quality of life today.
I have friends from Canada, which is a very nice country, right? That are looking into moving to Israel for economic reasons, because they like high tech, because they want to get the opportunities here. There's a ton of opportunities in Israel, and it's incredible. You're right. It used to be, I remember in 2009, when I made Aliyah, Netanyahu would have this joke where he said, you know how you become a millionaire in Israel?
Come with $1 billion.
And come with $1 billion, and then you become a millionaire. It's not true anymore. It's not true anymore.
All right, so tell me about you. What do you do here in the Knesset?
My main focus is economics. I believe in free markets. I am trying to remove the overregulation, the bureaucracy, the famous Israeli bureaucracy. This is my main goal in Israel. I have a lot of legislative projects. I'm just getting started, so they're not yet voted into laws, but I hope that in the next few months or years, they will be voted into laws, and they'll make a very real impact on Israel, make the economy of Israel much more dynamic, and also make it friendlier for entrepreneurs, both within high tech and also in other fields. Obviously, high tech is a very important sector in Israel. Innovation is part of our culture, and hopefully we can keep it a central part of our culture.
So when I give talks around the world, you know, people, the big question, what does everyone ask? How did Israel become this technology super? That's like the question, right? And so I say there are a lot of different components here, right? Of course, there's the army. Of course, there's a lot of things. But one of the things is the government, you know, that's intervention or involvement, I should say, of the government in tech. And so we know that there's the Reshut HaChadshanut, the Innovation Authority, which is an organization, a governmental organization that basically gives out grants to, you know, tech companies that have deep tech and defendable tech, not just anybody who makes up a tech company, but, you know, no equity. It's just literally just, you know, funds given to companies. And that's a really big part of it. But to know that there's an MK in the Knesset who has made it his, you know, top priority to make Israel a friendlier place for entrepreneurs is huge. And it's a message that I believe, again, putting aside all of the conflict, internal conflict right now and reform and all that stuff, I think the tech world in Israel doesn't really understand how big of a priority it is for you and for other MKs and for the Knesset to make Israel entrepreneur friendly. And so it's an amazing, amazing thing that you're doing. How does this manifest? Like, give me some examples of things that you've done.
It's something that crosses party lines. For example, I had a bill which has to do with crypto. There was a problem that Israeli tax systems weren't really relevant to the crypto world because, as you know, high-tech companies like to give options, but in the crypto world, instead of getting the options in stocks, they give it in coins,
right.
Or other things like that. And my bill is meant to make sure that the things that already exist for high-tech companies will also exist for the new crypto world. And just that example, I'm giving it because it passed with support of both coalition and opposition. I think that the whole world of innovation and the world of high tech and the startup nation that we keep on talking about and that we're so proud of is something that crosses party lines. It's both bipartisan, left-wing, right-wing, even ultra-Orthodox are for it. Everyone is for it.
Love it.
And it's something that's very present here.
Super duper important. Okay, so we're having initial discussions about doing some sort of a roundtable with some tech entrepreneurs and things like that. Stay tuned for that. But either way, like I said to you offline, anything and everything that I could do to help you or to help the state of Israel, at the end of the day, my tech is my vehicle, but the road of that vehicle is helping Israel. So, it would be an honor and a privilege. Speaking of an honor and a privilege, check this out.
Before you show this, I just want to say that you say that it would be an honor to help. It's my job to help. So whoever hears this and needs help or whatever, has ideas of how to make Israel better, feel free to ask Hillel how to contact me and he'll tell you.
So I came here and MK Illouz, I must say, God, you're an MK now, prepared this for me. Check this out. Oh my God, I think you could read it. Yeah, it should be in focus. This is I started to choke up here. So it says, Defender of Israel Certificate, oh my God, awarded to Hillel Fuld for his unwavering dedication to defending the state of Israel and for reinforcing its image as the remarkable and vibrant nation it truly is. With heartfelt thanks, member of Knesset Dan Illouz. Dude.
I think that most of the viewers of this video would also add their signature to that.
I appreciate that, man. You're making me blush. Listen, anything and everything I can do to help, you keep doing what you're doing. It's very, very inspirational to see someone like you who, made his decision to come to Israel, sacrifice, and work in the, public sector, make it this far, hopefully one day Prime Minister. I'd vote for you. All right, man. Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, that was quite a day. Not your typical day full of tech entrepreneurs. Spent the day in the parliament. Really unbelievable. Big honor. And I'm truly humbled to be able to even have a small little impact on everything that's going on in this country. It's going to be a nuts week starting tomorrow. See you then.